Welcome to Functional Meets Mindful, the Leadership Fusion series. I'm Dr. Raechelle Ray Johnson, speaker, author, and creator of the Raechelle Method for High Impact Leaders. In this series, we're unpacking what it really takes to move beyond high functioning leadership into powerful, present driven leadership that builds trust, drives performance, and create legacy. Whether you're leading a team, a project, or yourself, the future belongs to those who know how to blend strategy with self-awareness. So let's get into it. Now, I'll be honest with you. Today's video is coming from my couch. Not from a designated area. I'm not feeling 100%, and you might hear the hum of the city behind me. But I didn't want to delay this series. Not because I didn't want to talk to you, but because I knew I couldn't afford to keep landing on empty. And because I couldn't wait to talk to you. So this is me, present, a little tired, but fully grounded in both my leadership knowledge and my mindful wisdom. And that's kind of perfect because today's topic is all about the difference between functioning and leading. So let's get straight into this, the why this matters now. Most leaders, especially us high performers, are trained to function. We know how to execute, deliver, respond, solve. It's baked into every meeting, every metric, every promotion that we've ever received, everything that we do. But at some point, high functioning starts to become over functioning. And we lead from that space far too long without pausing, without presence, and we start to operate in survival mode. And survival leadership, it might keep the company alive, but it doesn't grow the people, the team, and it definitely doesn't build trust. As a matter of fact, it erodes it, and it makes it hard for legacy. So let me break it down a little differently, if you'll give me some space. Let's talk about functional leadership at its core. It is task-locked, system-centered, focus on doing, tracking, controlling. The very strength of it is in execution, structure, and results, which means that the weaknesses can be in reactivity, disconnection, which leads to burnout, amongst other things. So functional leaders, what we do is we make sure that the train runs and runs on time, but the destination can sometimes be unclear to other people, which means those riding the train, well, they are miserable. So what are we actually really doing? Now, mindful leadership, this is where we become people aware, present in the moment, focused on emotional regulation, clarity, reflection. So the strengths, we lean more on connection, composure, and culture. But there's weaknesses here. If we are undeveloped in this area, we can tend to leave people feeling vague and we seem overly permissive. So mindfulness is not just about self-care and deep breath. It's about leading from awareness and having the emotional fluency to know when to hold space and when to drive from performance. So let's talk about the future of leadership and where it can be found. We're moving into a world where performance alone is no longer cutting it. As leaders, we're being asked to think fast and feel deeply, where we need to be able to not just be decisive, but also to have emotional intelligence, because we need to be able to regulate ourselves before we even think about leading anyone else. How can we best understand where people are in order to take them where we need them to go if we don't first understand how they react to who we are, if we don't first understand who we are against how they're performing and who they are? In other words, we bring the best out of both people and situation. But if we don't fully realize how to wield the tool of self, then how can we do that? And this is what I like to call fused leadership. This is where function meets mindfulness and clarity and calm coexist. We don't want to just have people survive under our leadership. We want them to thrive. We're no longer existing in a place of either or anymore. The future belongs to those of us who can both and. I'll let that settle for a second. So I want to offer you an invitation. If any of this resonated, I want you to explore what fusion leadership can look like in your world. I've written a book called The Art of Turning Obstacle into Opportunity. And before you turn me off and think, oh, this is a sell, it isn't. Grab the book. I think it'll work for you. I'm releasing it in June. However, I'm going to provide pieces of the book right here for you in this series, because it's not about perfection. It's about presence. It's about showing up. And if you'll show up right here, then I want to make sure that you have what you need. Even if you're not at 100% and you're coming from your couch, you can still lead with clarity, confidence, and calm. So every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, right now for the first 2 weeks, although I'm pretty certain I'll do more than that, I am going to take pieces from The Art of Turning Obstacles into Opportunities and offer what's needed to lead from the inside out, lead from a place of wellness, where I take the Dr. Ray model of leadership fusion. And we're going to talk about how to do just that. And I want you to join me. So subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when I'm here, and you can join me. If there's someone else that you know that can benefit from this, another leader, then extend my invitation to them for me. And I look forward to seeing you here 3 times out of the week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, where we're going to lead with clarity, confidence, and calm. All right, until next time, my mindful leader. Thanks for joining me in today's conversation. Remember, functioning keeps things moving, but fused leadership moves people. If you're ready to stop surviving leadership and start leading with clarity, confidence, and calm, make sure you subscribe and follow along. And if you haven't yet, grab a copy of The Art of Turning Obstacles into Opportunities, because the next chapter of leadership starts from the inside out.